Yanacha. Yanacha's from the Pivax community. So yeah, we've been on certain podcasts, Twitter X Spaces. AJ, maybe we're waiting for Alexa. Do you want to run through the agenda? Because we're not agenda. What what we're gonna be doing and stuff like that. Because yeah, I left it to you two guys. Okay, cool. There's something wrong with his voice. Is it my voice that's something wrong? Is my mic not very good? Interesting. But it's consistent for you, right? It doesn't cut out or anything? Ah, okay, cool. Also, if you have any questions, you guys can post it in the general chat or whatnot. Actually, should it be on the community stage where we can open a chat here? Ah, here we go. Hello. Oh, there's also okay. I need to take a look at that too. Let's go. Sorry for the scuff stream. And your stuff is repeating, AJ. You're not using a headphone. Hey, Diego. I was still waiting on Alexa.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The
My daughter.
baby.
That's right. Hey, baby.
Yeah, Diego's from CypherStack behind Stack Wallet and a lot of cool stuff also in Firo. So yeah, it's been helping
If it
us a
was
lot.
cool, if it was cool, I probably did it.
Sorry.
If it was cool, I probably did it.
That's true. The Firo rebrand though, very controversial.
Yeah, controversial with the losers.
It's like, oh, never heard of Firo. And then we're like, oh, it used to be called Zcoin. And we're like, oh, yeah, I remember you guys. I'm like, Hey, Yanucha, is a Pivax a rebranding? You guys, I just remember somehow there was going to be a rebrand of some sort. Or was it just like a logo rebrand?
Let me contact Alexa. Hold on.
Yeah, Stano. Time. Trust thyself is trust thyself inside the chat already? You can click on the community stage and there is a little chat.
Yeah, give us the
Uh,
updates.
yeah. The other the other updates that is important. Oh, Alexa, your mic is repeating me.
Oh, sorry about that. One moment.
So yeah,
All right.
the other thing that we've been discussing is that a couple of exchanges have reached out to us with the upcoming MiCA regulations. And MiCA basically is a European regulations, but I foresee that it will have wide-ranging implications for the rest of the world, because if Europe goes for it, then it's easier for other regions to comply. I think this might be also interesting to Yenacha as well. And because of the MiCA regulations say that any centralized exchange that kind of wants to operate in Europe cannot support privacy, basically assets that have inbuilt anonymization features, unless the users of the project, or not the users of this network, can be identified, right? And obviously we are a privacy coin, and that is very hard to comply with, right? But after speaking to several major exchanges, they were able to kind of say that, well, if we stick to the transparent address, we would be okay with that, but we will not be able to accept direct deposits from, let's say, a Spark transaction or a Lelantus transaction. It has to go through a intermediate transparent address. And to me, this all is really dumb. It doesn't really make sense, right? But we are a relatively small asset, and I've also asked, like, what Zcash is doing. They so far what they have proposed is even worse than what we have. It may involve like giving your entire wallet history to the exchange, which is not what is not what we would accept. All right, even if it threatens a delisting, that to me just seems to be an untenable way to do compliant privacy or whatever it is. The way that we were thinking about it is to basically have a new type of transparent address where the exchange can flag it that it will only accept uh, inputs, or yeah, you'll be only able to insert like outputs from transparent sources. So that would kind of like, give us some time, until Firo gets adoption, gets the regulator off our backs for like a little while. I would say probably like 2 3 years. And, I would say that would be what it is. It is a kind of drawback in that it hurts our adoption of Spark transactions. We're trying to work our way around it so that, people can just unshield directly into a Binance or whatever exchange deposit address, and that just gets like, the user flow is done automatically, so you don't have to like go into a transparent address and then go to a exchange address. We will just do that all in the background. But it is a departure from our previous commitment to make everything mandatorily private, which I guess would piss off some of the privacy purists, and we all here for that reason. But at the same time, to be realistic, we need to survive long enough for that to happen. And I feel that those with mandatory privacy are not going to be able to comply, and they're going to be losing a lot of exchange listings, and as a result, integrations as well. So it's a tough choice. Maybe Diego, you want to like just weigh in a little bit. I mean, I know you're originally from Monero, but
Yeah, so I mean, as a person who values privacy very, very highly and thinks privacy is absolutely at its strongest when it is mandatory, and similar to the way that Monero does it, the saddest thing for me would be Spark not getting to have its time in the sun at all, because the project was more or less killed before it even started, which is what would happen if Firo got delisted from a lot of big exchanges. Um, the thing about all of this is it would be easy. So let's say, a hypothetical future where Firo just, skyrockets, and just becomes too big and too cool. We can always swap over to kind of mandatory privacy. But I mean, on the cusp, on the eve of having Spark launch and have its moment in the sun, to have Firo being hamstrung like that, it's not acceptable to me, in my opinion, for the project to go and make that sacrifice for the sake of mandatory privacy. Again, I love privacy more than most people out there, and I have the proof of work behind me, if you'll excuse the pun, to prove it in terms of the contributions that I've made to this project, to Monero, to many other privacy projects. But privacy is often won in little bits and pieces and baby steps forward, in the same way that freedoms are lost, little baby steps backwards. So Spark is really cool tech, guys, and I really want the world to see it, and I really want them to see it, which isn't going to happen if Firo takes a hardline stance against these big gigantic exchanges. It's just the reality of where we are right now. Not just as a coin, but I mean, heck, I don't think hardly any coin can really stand up to a lot of these big exchanges and just go, no, we're not going to do your thing. I mean, Monero will probably do that. Monero will not go unprivate for these guys. They'll get delisted. We'll see what happens to them. We'll see. I hope they do fine, but we'll see.
There'll definitely be a negative effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not good news. I do think Monero would survive as well. And Neon just say, like, if Firo doesn't get base layer default privacy, Firo is dead. So I mean, I understand this, but we have to realize that what other base layer privacy coin has done well? Zero. There's only Monero that has done well, and because they had first mover advantage and they were at a time where regulation was really, really light, and now they have the adoption and now they have the users, right? Take a look at Grin, right? They had everything working for them, right? Nope, hasn't really done well with default privacy, right? Beam, has a great team, done a lot of work. And then also, yep, it hasn't done well as well. So Pirate Chain, I guess, is doing slightly better, but I would hardly say, it's something that that kind of like does very well, right? So yeah, I don't think having base layer default. I mean, again, don't get me wrong, I support base layer default privacy, and how we would be implementing it is within our wallets. All transactions are private by default, just not mandatorily. So we kind of foresee an ecosystem where the exchanges, those that need to be regulated, all the centralized stuff, they will need to operate on that transparent layer. And we will do our thing, we will transact and stuff. There will be some exchanges that will support Spark addresses and all of that. But those that are under regulatory scrutiny, they can continue operating within the transparent address. And that means we keep all our swap integrations, which doesn't require KYC. We keep all this other stuff that keeps Firo usable, like Travala, Locktrip, all these CoinsB and all these other integrations which allow Firo to be spent in the real world because they are connected to major exchanges with a lot of integrations, right? So that is Pirate Chain is non-interactive. Okay, whatever, man. Yeah, I mean, we are non-interactive as well. Only Grin is interactive.
Where are you reading the comments?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the Discord, like what's going on here?
There. Both Green Beam. No, Green Beam has also that. I mean, like, yeah, you can name one other chain that has default privacy that does it. There's Hush, there's Arrow, there's all these other private by default chains that haven't done well. Anyway, I'm not going to argue on that. To me, it's self-evident. It's backed by facts. You can't dispute that.
It's a rough decision, guys. It really is, and it's not one that's being made lightly. And the cool thing about Firo is that it's open source, and sorry to say this, Ruben, but
Yeah, you can
if
fork it out.
Spark is if Spark is super cool, fork it and make a mandatory privacy version of it, and let's get that going. I'd totally support that. Contribute upstream, obviously. Do some cool things for Firo, because Firo has been at the forefront of all this kind of stuff, and that's why I generally like to be here. But it's rough out here, guys. It's rough out here for everyone, and I for one am extremely uncomfortable seeing all the hard line stances against privacy in Europe with exchanges as a whole. It's indicative to me of many bad things to come. But I'm paranoid and all this kind of stuff. I'm not trying to make everyone panic or anything like that, but it's disconcerting to me. And so fighting back is making things like Spark. Fighting back is making things like Monero Seraphis. Fighting back is making cool privacy technology that can be used by anyone and everyone, and taking baby steps towards a more private, free future.
Oh, sorry, Pete. Sorry that we didn't get to start the quiz before you had to go. So yeah, Neon. Oh, I'm not gonna bother responding to that anymore. So the other thing that's really cool is that on the research side, um, we've been doing something called curve trees, which is really exciting because it allows global anonymity sets. And that means, basically, instead of an anonymity set of 60,000, 30,000, every single transaction that is made in Spark can be like your anonymity set. So that's really big, right? And that allows a lot of huge scalability. And currently, Curve Trees works with other types of zero knowledge proofs and does it in a way that makes it much more efficient. So, like previously we were looking at stuff like bulletproofs and bulletproof plus. So just to let you know, like bulletproofs kind of hides the amounts at the moment, like in Firo, in Monero, and all of that. Bulletproofs is only used as a range proof to kind of help to hide amounts. It's not used as a general way to prove like stuff like in Zcash and stuff like that. While you can do it, the performance is really, really bad. But with curve trees, through some sort of like clever cryptographic tricks, you can bring that down to like very manageable levels, like less than 100 milliseconds. But we have been looking at the way of integrating that with Halo 2, which would give it performance characteristics that are even better than Halo 2 alone. So that's wait, one of the admins is manually plucking my comments and showing on the. No, and we are not. We're not plucking anything out. We are seeing. I saw a hello. I saw it just turned back on. I haven't heard anything for a couple of minutes. We are not censoring anything at all. I don't. AJ. I don't think. We have. We have. No, no, we have not. Pimping cat. I see you. It's just that. Yeah, this. We're not censoring anything.
What may happen in regards to censorship is sometimes YouTube will not let certain things go through. For example, it has happened before to me on a live stream where I have put a link of some sort in one of my messages or whatever, and YouTube doesn't like that oftentimes. So I don't really know. I mean, if you have some comments that didn't make it, go ahead and if they're not showing up on YouTube, by all means, take a screenshot of your comments, take a snip. However that's done, it's possible on Linux, Mac, and Windows, and throw it on the Discord or something like that, just so we could see them. Because if they're not showing up there, we're not doing the censoring, but put it up here so we can see it and respond to it for whatever shenanigans YouTube has going on.
Yeah. A neon, if you couldn't be that toxic. Nothing great to say. But okay, so let's does anyone have any questions? Of course, like okay, let me just respond to what Neon is saying, that he's saying that, oh, just make a DEX. We do have a DEX. No one's using it. And that goes with almost every other DEX that Beam and other projects are using. There is hardly anyone using it, right? That is the sad fact. And even if you talk about Monero, okay, where can you use Monero with a DEX? Hardly anything either. There are some in the works, So there is like Sarai, which we are also, working to integrate with and stuff like that. So all of that is in the works. It's not to say that we don't encourage DEX adoption, but it takes time, right? Especially when you're dealing with base chain and not some like ERC20 token, which is like so much easier, right? So that is all being worked on. I mean, we already have a usable working atomic swap cross chain DEX. That I have, yeah, very very few people are actually using it. So that would be, I would say, one of our priorities, post Spark. So yeah, right on. When are inscriptions like implemented in Bitcoin coming to Firo? I know there's spot things, but no one's asking permission in Bitcoin world. When are inscriptions like that? Oh, you mean like those ordinals type of stuff? I mean, technically you can do it, but then because we don't support Taproot, but Spark assets actually allow much better support for NFTs and all of that because that's actually native design support, and you get Firo's privacy on top of that. So,
Yeah, so if I could speak to that a little bit,
yeah.
because we've been delving into kind of the ordinal space at Stack Wallet. For those of you who don't know, I make Stack Wallet, which is at present the only mobile wallet that supports Firo and stuff. And we've done a bunch of fixes recently. If you tried Stack Wallet in the past few months and you're like, oh, there's a bug, it's not showing the correct balance, that should all be fixed by now. So give Stack Wallet a go. But we've delved into ordinals. We support ordinals for Litecoin right now. I got to tell you guys, like, I like ordinals. I like the idea of them. I like the idea that, if it's allowed by the protocol, you could go ahead and do it. But ordinals as a whole is very hacky in the sense that it does some, it obviously takes advantage of different things that Taproot that it wasn't intended to. But who cares if it was intended? I'm not going to get into that conversation. But the cool thing about Spats, which is kind of the Sparks native assets type thing, is it looks at all of that. It looks at all the ordinal stuff and it says, okay, we like this stuff, but we want to do it in a way that it's not it doesn't have to be hacked together. It's supported natively by the chain. So that to me is the better way to go around that. And I mean, if somebody wants to work on Firo and put Taproot in there so that way they could support ordinals the way Bitcoin does, then by all means get your coding keyboard out and let's make it happen, I guess. But to me, Spats is the smarter thing, just because having it built from the ground up specifically for such a purpose makes more sense to me in the long term.
So, I know that we previously said like, oh, there'll be only 3 months on testnet because Flyfire asked, oh, I see now it's third month on Spark testnet, and yeah, I would say that our original estimate was no, we're not on the third month. We were originally meant to like launch in November, so it's supposed to be 3 months of testnet and then mainnet, right? And technically we can probably do that, but just just because of the timing, right? If we release it in November and then you go on mainnet in December, no one's the ecosystem will not. We have experience in this, and December everyone freaking goes on holiday, and it's very hard to coordinate stuff. So it's really bad idea. Second month in, okay, yep. And yeah, I think also Monero Moderners is actually broken right now, right? I think they wanted to stop that out.
Last I saw, yes, like Monero Mortinals was a thing, and then they did some changes client side that make it not a thing anymore. I don't think it was a hard fork. It wasn't baked into the protocol, but pretty much everyone client side implemented stuff. So Mortinals wasn't a thing. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, because Monero wanted nothing to do with that. It hurts fungibility kind of stuff, and that's the beauty of Spats protocol is when things are hacked together, it oftentimes does affect fungibility in pretty big ways, because you're taking advantage of things that you leak a lot more metadata, whereas built from the ground up, so that way it minimizes data leakage. That's the better way to do things in terms of privacy going forward.
Okay, cool. Yeah, does anyone have any questions? So obviously we're still working on like DAX integrations and all of that. That's still in the works, right? We had a recent couple of integrations with I would say second tier, third tier exchanges that are going to be supporting BEP 20 Firo, which is not ideal, but we thought it would be good because they have regional reach, like in Southeast Asia and stuff like that, and we'll be working together with events. And that was an easy way for people to support it without kind of like doing anything fancy, right? So I think one of the beauties of having BEP 20 Firo, which yes, it is custodied by Binance and all of that, is because it is effectively a ERC20 token, and Binance kind of works like a bridge between BEP20 Firo and native Firo, and they are also swap providers that allow you to swap in and out for BEP20 Firo or native Firo, or you could just use our native cross-chain atomic swap and swap BEP20 Firo for Firo, which there is quite a lot of decent liquidity there. So if you want to swap like 10,000 Firo from native to back, that isn't an issue. So yeah, that's all great. No, can I collect Firo now, or will Spark be a separate token? No, it's gonna be native, right? Yeah. So okay, I won't take any more time because I think we've already gone half an hour in. I pass the torch to Lex uh, to kind of run the quiz. The quiz. So it looks like everyone here is going to be a winner. Batuhan, even though you are a community manager in Turkey, you obviously can participate as well. Test your knowledge as well. So great. All yours, Alexa.
All right. I couldn't hear you there for just a moment, Ruben, but I think you were passing things on.
Yes, it's the baton is to you.
Okay, great. So we have things up and ready if people are ready to get started on trivia. It is going to be maybe slightly more challenging than the last time. At least that's the goal, and to focus a little bit more on Spark specific information. So it will be a 10-question trivia this time, and then we'll kind of go through each one and try to explain answers for whoever might have any questions, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be easier than I think it's going to be. So let me go ahead and get this up really quick. It's shared. All right. Can everyone see? Is that showing up?
It is, yep.
Okay, great. Then I'll go ahead and just leave that up for a moment for whoever is planning on joining and is eligible to. Oh, and I didn't really get to introduce myself at the beginning here, and I have probably seen a decent amount of you guys already on Telegram. But hi, I'm Alexa. I've just kind of been helping out in the interim right now, but this is the first time I'm really getting to speak to anyone sort of face to face. So nice to meet you all again. Zori just joined and popped out. We got some people moving around here, so I'll give that a moment.
I'm going to participate as well, but I'm not going to be eligible for any prizes. So yeah, I'm just doing it for fun.
Ah,
Okay.
darn. Okay. Yeah, there were a couple people on the Discord side that just dipped, and I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not. So I just want to make sure no one is potentially being left out here.
Oh, you also want to share what are the prizes, right? What are the stakes?
We can go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's see.
You can show off your new shirt, right? Is that the Firo
Let's
shirt?
see if I switch, will it show what I want it to show? No, it won't. Just a moment. Just a second. Alright.
Well, if it's too difficult, you can just share what it is.
No, I got it. I got it. I just had to make sure it was on the right browser so it would share correctly. All right, here we go. So we have a couple hoodies this time. Coming into fall around here, maybe not everywhere, but still comfy indoors where it's a little bit cooler maybe. So we have red and black Sparktacus this time. And I believe there will be a t-shirt as well. I don't have the mock-up of that in front of me right now, but correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe that's what we have as well. Did I have that right?
I actually don't know, Ruben.
Sorry, what was the question? I was looking at the YouTube stuff.
It's all right. I think we have a Sparktacus t-shirts, not just hoodies, correct? So if
Yes,
someone
yes, that's right. Yeah.
wants a t-shirt, okay, that's what I thought.
Bottocon's asking, is the color black or gray? Jeff Stoliper says, we have to be on Crowd Live. Yeah, if you want to participate in the quiz, you have to be on Crowd Live because that's like everyone's sync at the right time. Welcome. I'm gonna murder your name. Bak Ho One. Nice to meet you from Vietnam. Nice to meet you as well. So yeah, let's just post one more time. How many people do we have waiting for the quiz? Can you take a look in a moment?
Let me see. Let me refresh this, see if it'll go ahead and show me. Okay, so we have 4 right now. We got a little group going.
Okay, we can start then. I mean, well, I guess is everyone who wants to participate in. We have 3 people in Discord, right? And we have I don't know how many people, 5 people on YouTube, right? So yeah, just we'll wait maybe like half a minute more, get onto the crowd live stuff, and answer some questions. And it looks with the amount of people, everyone's gonna be almost getting a prize.
All right. So hey, odds are going to be pretty high this time of winning something if you do participate. So just keep that in mind. We have a definitely kind of a tight knit group of participants.
For the record, my username on CrowdPer is Ruben Cheater. but to be fair, I have not seen the questions.
Yeah, as of right now, if we stick with 4 people, then you're one of them. So we've got 3 eligible potentially people playing, which would mean that everyone would get something. So
Okay, let's start, Alexa. Yeah.
all right, one moment. Let me check something really quick. Okay.
Have you started it?
So we are ready to go, AJ. If you want to go ahead and launch that. All right, we have a countdown.
Supposed to activate the question. Okay.
All right, question 1. What is Helsing? Here we go. So either a Spark protocol extension allowing for private staking operations, a Spark protocol extension mimicking smart contract capabilities, the name of the first planned upgrade to Spark, and part of the Spark protocol allowing for SPAC.
No more time.
All right. If you answered A, you would be correct. A Spark protocol extension allowing for private staking operations.
Yeah, let's go to the next one.
All right. What does Spark's modular structure allow for? Yeah, we need questions. There they are. So upgrades to components as new tech arises. Easy removal of failed components, both A and B. Simplified security analysis, or both A and D. Timer goes by so fast. Oh my gosh. All right, A and D, simplified security analysis and upgrades to components as new tech arises. And of course, if anyone wants to jump in and add any notes to these, please do. Everyone may be pretty well versed at this point, but just in case.
Activate. Activate.
I think there's a bit of a lag there. All right, Firo was the first to implement which legacy privacy technology? You have A, Nix coin, B, nil coin, C, zero coin, or D, stealth coin.
Yon, no clue. Pimping King. I have a modular camera, the Hasselblad 907. I answer with A. Okay. But Neon, if you want to win, you have to like participate in the crowd live. You can't just like type in the channel.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we did remind them, so.
All right, C, zero coin if you answered C.
Only 67% answered correct. What was the other? What, Nix coin? New coin? So yeah, we did implement zero coin, which was I guess a predecessor to zero cash, launched in 2016 with the, unfortunately, zero coin is kind of like, on retrospect, it was horribly broken. But it was kind of like the first privacy protocol that kind of had like, ZKP type of tech, there's a new way to approach privacy. And yeah, it was actually really, really cool then. But yeah, on retrospect, wasn't too great, but it was a new type of privacy system. Still very
Yeah,
proud
that
of.
was a bit of a surprise throwback.
Right, next question.
Right. Instant SIM utilizes what? Oh, that was fast.
I'm not very sure. I'll see.
Okay. No, it's because it's one more than it doesn't show them all at once. That's very interesting.
Jeff Staliber, I'm a newbie. I run a node, but don't know as much as I should. Yeah, I mean, this is a great way to learn. You can even ask questions, like, obviously after answered. Oh, I got it wrong. Shit, I didn't see.
Yeah, there is a little Q&A time scheduled after this for anything that comes up in the process.
0% answered correct. Yeah.
Ah, it was too hard. Okay.
No, I got tricked too. um, Yeah, but we really value our node runners. You basically are the no one gets the answer for instance and utilizer. No, there was we did get that. We had some people who got that. Oh, well no, this one, yeah. This one no one got it right. Even the co-founder didn't get it right.
Quite a few of them are meant to stumble people up just a little bit. So,
It's a trick question.
yeah, exactly. Lots of trick questions or slightly misleading ones.
So instant send is really cool for those of you who don't know. Instant send allows, like, usually, people are like, oh, we have to have really fast block times. But if you have really fast block times, that introduces a lot of bloat because blocks have to come a lot, even though it's empty, right? And instant send allows you to kind of, before the block is confirmed, within a couple of seconds, to have that transaction kind of locked down, and there will be no conflicting transactions on that. So within a couple of seconds, even if it's not included in the block, you know that your transaction is not going to be double spent or modified or anything like that. So that's a cool feature. Um, so yeah, that's really good for merchant or face-to-face transactions, because you're not going to wait 2.5 minutes or more for a transaction to confirm. Yeah. So we get all the fast stuff without the need for floaty blocks. So
All right. Thank you for
yeah.
that better explanation than I could ever give.
Even though I got the answer wrong.
Wow. I'm sure you got one of the answers that were correct out of the two. Are we ready for question 5? Almost at the halfway point. All right. And following up, what is LLMQ short for? Another maybe not common knowledge question. We'll see. So we have low-level masternode quandaries, long-lived masternode quorums, light load memory quantums, and long-lasting mining quarries.
So Savage White Zero just said, instance a very interesting way to do it compared to speeding up block times. Yeah, and the cool thing is that with the masternode network, blocks are finer the moment they are slightly like confirm, and then like a couple of seconds later it gets locked down, called chain locks. So what that means is that you will not have any sort of reorganizations. Blocks are finer, just within one confirmation, which is why Binance accepts one confirmation deposits. So that's really cool.
All right, B, long-lived masternode quorums. How many people actually got that right? All right.
Yeah, so why it's called long-lived masternode quorums is that because in addition to proof of work, these bunch of nodes kind of get like semi-randomly selected, and they will form quorums of about 400 nodes, and they keep on reforming every 12 hours or something like that. The quorums are reformed, and there are several quorums existing at a certain time. Kind of think of them as in like groups of 400 nodes that are randomly selected, and they are going to be voting automatically to say, oh, which block did I see first, right? So if the majority of the quorum of that particular quorum says we saw this block first, they will all sign something, and it will actually lock that block. So that means that's how the chain locks work. That's why there's no reorganizations once a block has been chain locked. And you can actually see it if you go to our Explorer. You notice that you see if you click on any block, you see like let me just post. If you take a look at this, right, you will notice that there's a little lock symbol next to the block here hash, and that means the block is chain locked, and therefore there will not be any reorganizations. There are ways to kind of stop the chain locks from happening. For example, if you attack the master nodes, you manage to bring a significant amount down, that is correct. And therefore, that block may not be chain locked for a while until the masternodes like re-establish the quorum and are able to sign it. But that doesn't mean there's no security. That means it kind of defaults back to proof of work security, Satoshi, what Nakamoto consensus. And but the moment the masternodes come back online, they will sign the block, and all previous blocks also get locked as well. So yeah, that's a kind of a nice hybrid system. Can go to
All right.
the next.
Thank you. Are we ready for 6? Here we go. How many view keys are there with Lelantus Spark? So we have 2, a full key and a partial view key. 2, an incoming view key and an outgoing view key. 1, the full key. 1, the master key.
I feel like this answer is
This one's not too bad.
not.
If you said B, you would be correct.
Actually, yeah, I don't know if we will be implementing just incoming view keys. Generally, we'll definitely have. Yeah, I mean the Spark supports both, but most likely you're gonna be giving a key which will allow people to kind of see the full balance, right? They will not be able to tell they will not be able to tell who you sent it to or where you got it from. All they'll be getting is, yep, you received this amount. So you'll be revealing the amount, be revealing the time, and whether it's incoming or outgoing. So that's what a full view key actually reveals. So yeah, you get some information, but it's not horrible. But of course, you can optionally say, I only want to disclose my incoming view key, which means that people can see your address when it receives money, but not when you spend money, which is kind of the only view key that Monero supports. But if you have an outgoing view key, you get the full balance. You are able to deduce how much money is in a particular wallet, which is also important as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Are we ready for 7? So what can a delegation key do?
Wow, these questions are tough.
Here we go. Act as a means of offloading computational power to another device.
Hmm.
Allow a selected party to access a wallet on your behalf. Allow a selected party to view your wallet only, or specifically enable signing from a chosen device.
So yeah, actually, technically, although the answer that is closest correct is A, it's not as a means of offloading computational power to another device. It's more of like keeping the span authority. So, when you are computing all this zero knowledge proofs, when you're constructing the transaction and all of that, that requires, like, I would say, much more serious computational work that you will need, like a proper device, like a mobile phone or a desktop. You can't, like, you can't have your little Trezor do all these calculations. It would just be too underpowered for something like that. So, what the delegation key does is that it allows, let's say, a hardware wallet to retain the spend authority, but you're constructing the other parts of the transaction using your mobile device, using your desktop device, without compromising with what we call like the private key. So that's what a delegation key does.
Thank you for expanding on that just a little bit better then. This kind of wording was taken from, I believe, some of the blog posts. So if the wording is slightly off in describing that, my apologies there. All right. In which version of Elysium are Spark assets planned to be implemented?
This So Elysium is basically our tokenization layer where people can instead of just like just using Firo, you can create basically your own assets, your own coins, and the idea is that you share the same privacy as Firo. Spark assets obviously is a more advanced version of that. Sorry, I guess I kind of like gave the answer away a little bit. Yeah, we're out of time, so I don't think that affected anything. But the thing is that with Elysium, we actually have it ready and like functional on mainnet, but we just it's on release candidate status. And the reason why we haven't launched it on mainnet is that although everything is ready, it's not. I wouldn't say that because we already have Spark assets upcoming. If we create this, and then like people, we didn't see that many people creating those assets on testnet or even on mainnet. And if we were to have this, then people create stuff and then we migrate again the Spark assets, it would be a bit of a headache. So we were thinking, well, since there doesn't seem to be so much demand for first version of Elysium, which is understandable, it makes more sense to just like kind of like focus on Spark assets, which will be Elysium version 2. Hey, why is the timer went off? But yeah.
There we go. Elysium version 2. All right. What is the name of Firo's private voting mechanism in the works for DAOs? There are the answers. Aurora, ambiance, air, or aura.
Elvio, in Italy, we say Sabliagando si impara. I don't know, right? Means doing wrong, you learn. Uh, wrong, you learn. I wonder if I say that to like Italian lady, will she be impressed? Like, I try to pick her up and she goes, nope. And I'm like, Sabliagando si impara. Wait.
Right.
Did I get that right? Yes. So Aura is, I would say, we have the paper, right? And we actually kind of debating how to do it because obviously we can do like through coin voting, but we have seen how coin voting kind of leads to kind of fake governance. So we're still figuring out how to do like, well, who's entitled to vote and how much weightage that vote should be. Should it be just be master nodes? But the beauty about this voting mechanism is that while the votes are happening, no one can see, including the organizer, cannot see how the vote is progressing. All the votes are encrypted, and even the person that voted can check that their vote has not been modified and has been correctly valid. So I think this has, like in 2018, Firo or Zcoin basically helped the Thai Democrat Party to run its election on a blockchain with over 127,000 votes. So that was, I guess, a natural progression for that. Unfortunately, I think that government, that political party, never kind of they didn't really win that many seats, and now they're kind of like a pariah. So there hasn't been a political will to continue to try and implement this. We're still trying to seek alternate funding for this. um but yeah, it's something that we're working on, but I wouldn't say it's at the highest priority because there are a lot more pressing concerns like Spark assets and all. But if anyone has an idea on how to enable fair voting, because some people are like on-chain governance is the only way, which I don't really agree. But keen to hear the community because I am remember just a steward, obviously influence, but the community says something really strongly. So why we having that conversation about mandatory privacy in the forums as well. So yep. Next question, I guess.
All right. The final question. What does Aura private voting make possible?
Oh, they are just like review the.
We might, yeah, this might be a freebie question if anyone's been paying attention.
Yeah, so if you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, here's the test of who was listening to Ruben. All right, if you guessed D, you were paying attention or you're just really knowledgeable. Anonymous but verifiable voting.
Oh,
Oh,
so Q11? I thought it was 10 questions. No, no, I'm
yeah,
just
I think that one was no, that was not supposed to be there. Clearly, no question had been put in yet.
Oh, we can answer Q11.
What's going on here?
How does it end? Do we have to answer? So do we how do we look at the results? Oh, can you end the thing early? Ugh, very nasty cough.
All right. Congrats,
Oh, savage.
Sour. Firefly, second place with 211 points.
Wow.
And first place, Ruben the Cheater, with 652. Which means actually Jeff Star here would be our real third place winner.
Yep. So Jeff Stahl gets
Uh,
it.
Shout
Well,
out to
Elvio is
Alvin,
still.
DB Cooper, and Firo the Best
Wait,
gets participation prize.
how many prizes do we have? Do you know, AJ?
Firo is rich and can afford any number of prizes.
I think everyone who participated except me get a prize of some sort. So I guess I'll leave you guys to figure that out. But yeah, probably like the hoodies for the bigger winners and like the t-shirts for the rest. So everyone's a winner. Great.
All right. Thank you guys all for participating then. Different time this time. I know that kind of left out quite a few people. Not happy about that, but unfortunately, there's just no time where we can catch absolutely everybody. But for those who could come and participate in the trivia portion here, thank you so much. And you will be rewarded. The system for getting things shipped out is going to be a little bit different this time. So we do have a forum that we're going to send links to participants here. And then you can go ahead and give us the info on what you like and what sizes and so on. So no emailing this time.
With some questions about pizza, we have to do better.
What was that, Ruben?
No, no. Elvio was talking about pizza. I couldn't quite understand it. It says we with some questions about pizza have to do better. Oh, with some questions about pizza, I'll have to do better. I see. Because he's Italian.
All
Cool.
right.
All right. So do you want to? Oh well, I guess if there are any. Thanks for participating. I think we're like just at the 1 hour mark. We'll probably be trying to do this better. I mean, it was a bit stuff. But I hope everyone enjoyed it. Always good to get merch. And really appreciate you guys coming by. Even though like the criticisms is actually welcome. I would encourage constructive criticism as long as not trolling. Fly Fire is asking an email sent for feeling. What does that mean?
Let me see really quick.
Where's the form? How are you going to?
Yeah, give me one moment. I'll go ahead and I had it pulled up. I think
Oh, Matrix and Simplex chat. Oh, this guy. I know who Neil.
I think it got closed out. Give me just 1 second.
Thank you for all the info and hard work. Yeah, thank you. I mean, really, you guys basically make Firo possible. So even if it's a small thing like attending this quiz and like supporting our events, uh, really appreciate it. And that's why we kind of like make it a point to give merch and not like directly Firo, just because like I think it's better. It's not so mercenary.
All right, so I went ahead and dropped the link to the form
I'll post it
in the stage chat here. Yeah, go ahead and let us know, I guess, what your name was in the game as well. That would help. And then if we get anyone's name in here twice, we'll know there's something going on. So
Yeah, the other thing is that we how to say like once we send the stuff up, we'll delete your info, so we will not be
yeah,
retaining that information.
yes. So the form does have a note about this, but nothing gets saved on here. It will be gone once it is used.
Batuhan, you were supposed to participate, but he didn't. But he says like, yeah.
And then I did want to leave time in case anyone had any other specific questions for Ruben or Diego, if he's still hanging around here, or just anyone else.
I'm still here.
We might have gotten those out in the process, but just in case anything's come up and anyone really wanted to get to ask something, now would be that time.
Cooper, you have a reward? Yes, you do. Gonna get a wooden spoon. Yeah, I guess no questions. We can wrap it up. I have a lot of errands to catch up on. So thanks again, guys, and thanks Alexa, Diego, AJ, for organizing and this, and most importantly, everyone that came, and also special shout out to Batuhan for staying up or getting up at 5 a.m. Show his support to represent Turkish community. So really happy.
Yeah, and you've honestly been really helpful in getting the word out about everything, and kind of supporting with community management stuff in general. I know you know what you're doing. You're very much appreciated. So.
See you guys. Bye.
Everybody.